And welcome tonight. We're looking at great racing weather, a full crowd for the Robbie Dean 94, of course, late model race. Some of the best area drivers from the Miami Valley. A lot of the guys in this field have won multiple championships, some at this track here at Kil Kare in Xenia, Ohio. Got some great looking cars. In fact, back in the old days when we were calling these races, you always had what we call fillers, where you'd have a core group of guys with some really great cars, and then you'd have some guys who maybe they didn't actually have some of the best material out there. But as you look at that field out there tonight, you have a field that are all really well put together, really good race cars with some very, very good race car drivers. Out in that field tonight for the Robbie Dean 94, we've got the 54 of Brandon Oakley, the 33 of Kenny Robertson, Chad Pendleton in the 22, the 26B is Bill Burba, Tony Brunke in the 29, Burgess White in the 59, the 38 of Caleb Rasher, 0 Donnie Hill, that's what they call him, Donnie 0 Hill, he's in the 0 car, Neil McClellan in the 73, we've got Jim Hershey in the 8, Harrison Hall, an interesting driver in this field. In the other 26 car, the 26A, he's only 14 years old, but has multiple championships and many wins from across several different states when it comes down to late model driving. So great to see some of the youth getting into it who can actually drive and have a really great resume. Donnie Mahaffey in that 18 car has won multiple track championships that is, here at Kil Kare, and Ryan Fleming, as they like to call him, Flying Ryan Fleming, in the number 1 car there in this field as they get ready to go green flag racing just around the corner. Got that Irwin Dodge pace car out there as they've sponsored the pace car this year for Gem City Auto Racing. Looks like they're getting the 1 to go, and looks like we'll see that pace car drop to the inside as we get ready for this field to make their way around. Drew Charleston will bring them around in that 21 car as they look for some green flag racing. On that outside, you've got Flying Ryan Fleming in the number 1 car, the 18 from Hanger Racing. As the green flag comes out, going to come to the line, we'll get started for the Robbie Dean 94. They're going to work their way into the first turn into the back straightaway. Charleston getting a good run on that inside line. The 1 of Flying Ryan Fleming on the outside, the 18, always dangerous. That is the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey Jr. He's going to ride right in there. He knows this track as well as anybody. He would be one of your close ones. He's going to give a little of the chrome horn there to the 21s. He pushes him through 3 and 4 as they come around looking for that stripe as they get another couple laps in here. Start-finish line. Ryan Fleming to the outside looking for a run on the inside. Going to be the 18 of Mahaffey trying to stay up on the 21. He looks down on the inside. He'll drop back as he gets back in line coming in through 3 and 4 back to the stripe. Be the 21 of Drew Charleston out there in front to lead the first couple laps of this Robbie Dean 94 race. Again, the 94 comes from Robbie Dean's number as he was a racer. They called him Big Bird because he was a rather tall, big fella. Could have played Ohio State football, but got into racing instead. And 94 was his car number. Now making a move on the inside through 1-2, the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey. He's going to get a good run. He's going to push in, and there's going to be contact as they come through 3 and 4, but he will push ahead and get out there in front and take the first position away as they come through 1 and 2. Flying Ryan going to drop that inside line. He'll get a good run on the 21 of Charleston. He'll get by as well. The 54 of Brandon Oakley going to get in the act as he will push through as the top 5-6 cars right there all in a big group coming through that 3 and 4 as they work their way around the track. The 26 of Harrison Hall and Bill Burba going to make their way up through. Still out in front, looks like we've got the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey Jr., the 1 of Flying Ryan Fleming, the 54 of Oakley now makes a move on the outside. They'll drop back inside, looks for a move again on the outside lines. They come through 3 and 4, and as they get to the start-finish line, he is going to make that move. Doesn't quite get it. Come down the back straightaway, the 54 of Brandon Oakley going to get around the 1 of Flying Ryan Fleming. He'll move up into second position. So already several different lead changes and a lot of side-by-side racing and a little bit of contact here and there as your top race car drivers through this for the late model Robbie Dean Memorial 94 here at Kil Kare Speedway is going to be the number 18 of Donnie Mahaffey Jr., followed closely by the 54 of Brandon Oakley, the 1 of Ryan Fleming. They're going to drop back into the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Interviewed a lot of drivers over a lot of time. I was the announcer out here for 7 full seasons when NASCAR was running out here, and you're going to find that it looks like there's only 4 turns here at Kil Kare, but most of the drivers are going to tell you there's about 11 turns. What I mean by that is you're on and off the brakes constantly trying to find that perfect line, and you have to have a lot of skill because it's not really an oval. It's a modified D is what they like to call it, as we've got a move on the outside line. Here comes Brandon Oakley. He's a 4-time winner of this event as he comes to the outside of the 18 of Mahaffey. Mahaffey going to drop down in there, and at the start-finish line, you're going to have a new race leader, your 3rd new race leader. That's the 54 of Brandon Oakley, looking to get his 5th Robbie Dean 94 win. As he comes through 3 and 4, he's going to get a good half a car's length as he works on lap traffic as they come through the start-finish line. And he is going to make quick work of the lap traffic as it goes down to the back straightaway, and he's going to try to run away with this thing if he gets the chance to do so. The 54 of Brandon Oakley, good car, a young kid who has won several races here at Kil Kare and knows the track very well. Grew up here, you might say. This is his home track, but he has raced everywhere, as have several of the men in this field. Like I said, your field right now with the leader out there, Brandon Oakley. Brandon is in the 54, followed closely by the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey Jr. You also have a couple other guys out there who could win this thing, and Bill Burba, Chad Pendleton, Cale Rasher, be a dark horse for that. Donnie Hill would be another one. And, of course, Harrison Hall, the 14-year-old in the 26B. Ryan Fleming, Donnie Mahaffey, as we talked before, have won lots of races out here at Kil Kare. As they come to the start-finish line for another one, still going to be that 54 of Brandon Oakley out in front as they make their way through 1 and 2 down to the back straightaway. Fleming is trying to hold off the 22 and the 26. Chad Pendleton at 22. He's raced both late models and modifieds, as has Ryan Fleming, for that matter. Fleming has won a championship out here in the modified division, so he knows his way around this track as well as anybody. So if you're coming out here with this full capacity crowd to see a race, you're getting to see some really Class A guys out here racing for you tonight, as they're all well capable of winning, and almost a little bit of contact there between Fleming and the 22 of Pendleton as they go through into the back straightaway, but they'll keep it on the straight and narrow as they come around to the start-finish line. Still way out in front, you got the 54 of Brandon Oakley and the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey Jr. Fleming back there in 3rd position, 22 of Pendleton, the 26, 26A and 26B. That is Bill Burba and, of course, the young lad Harrison Hall. Side-by-side racing. He's going to try to look the inside of the 1 of Fleming. He is going to come in there and get a great run on the inside as they come around to the start-finish line. The 22 of Pendleton will make the pass and move up 1 spot. And here comes the 26. Looks like the 26A of Burba. No, that is the 26B of Harrison Hall making the move on the 1 of Fleming as it comes by. So the 14-year-old is showing his mettle as we go back up towards the front. You got Donnie Mahaffey Jr. trying to chase down the 54 of Brandon Oakley, as you see him come across the start-finish line, ticking off another couple laps as we come by. A great opportunity to see some great racers, and we'll go ahead after a minor caution. Looks like the 54, the 18, as we get restacked and re-racked as they go green once again. Pendleton moved up into 3rd with that green flag. Of course, everything's going to come together. We're doing side-by-side restarts this season instead of single file, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. Everything closer, the action stays better. Also, later in the race, you might see a rule that we've had here before, but it's going to be strongly followed. It's called the spinner rule. Anybody spins anybody else out, if we're not sure who actually caused the wreck, they'll talk to both drivers. And if nobody fesses up to it, they'll both go to the back of the lead lap. It's just basically a way for them to keep the honor system out there and keep racing clean. And so far, it's actually been pretty clean this race. Of course, we've got a lot of great wheelmen behind the wheels tonight as the 22 of Pendleton looks to the inside of the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey Jr. So a little bit of action there for the 2nd position. You're going to put a little chrome horns on the back of the bumper of the 18, let him know he's there. Going to move the outside, try to make a run as we come down through the back straightaway. The 18 of Mahaffey trying to hold off the 22 of Chad Pendleton. Again, the late model Robbie Dean Memorial 94 race. Big Bird, great racer, won a lot of championships, raced at countless motor speedways, but more specifically Shady Bull, Kil Kare over at Columbus Motor Speedway when it was still around. Some really great races. Ooh, some move on the inside of the 26 of Harrison Hall. Looks to the inside of the 18 of Mahaffey. He is going to challenge him on that inside and make the pass. Still out in front, the 54 of Brandon Oakley. He is about a little over a quarter to a half a track ahead of everybody else. And I'm sure he hopes this thing stays green because he's got a great car and he looks to have it dialed in quite well. And they are going to come down in through 3 and 4, come down the back straightaway. And as they come around to the stripe, it will still be the 54 of Brandon Oakley. All your challenging racing going to be back there with the number 1 of Fleming trying to get to the inside of the 21. Again, the 21 piloted by Drew Charleston, and of course the 18, former track champion Donnie Mahaffey Jr. Now they're going to run down through that back straightaway. 3 cars real close in contention for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot, as the real side-by-side racing is back there for 4th and 5th between the 1 of Fleming and the 21 of Charleston. And they're going to be side-by-side trading a little bit of paint. Still out front, the 54 of Brandon Oakley, but back in the back of the pack there, not really the back, but the middle of the pack, Fleming is fighting tooth and nail for the 21 there, as they're going to go to the outside of a little bit of lap traffic, it looks. That's the 38 of Rasher, Caleb Rasher. They're going to get past, and get past quite easily as they move down into the back straightaway into 3 and 4. 18 of Mahaffey in front of them. He's a hard guy to pass. It's kind of amazing that the first 2 cars have actually been able to get out in front of that 18, because you have to have some skill and you have to have a great car to stay out in front of the 18 of Mahaffey Jr. We actually share a birthday, a little bit of fast fact there for you, April 30th. As they come around. This track's been here since just about 1953. Started out as a dirt track, and they decided it was too dusty, too dirty, so the next year they paved it over, made it into an asphalt track. 1976, I believe it was, the Chrysler family bought the track, and they had it up until about 2013, and it's seen a lot of action, a lot of great drivers, a lot of NASCAR drivers have come through here, as the 54 of Oakley still out in front. Going to take it into 1 and 2. Just about halfway point of the race. He has got his line down pat. And again, if you look through the back of the pack, making their way around some lap traffic there. The 18, the 21, and the 1. That'd be Donnie Mahaffey Jr. and company, as we're going to see Kil Rasher get lapped by the 54 of Brandon Oakley. And a little bit of pressure being put on by the 21 of Charleston on the 18 of Mahaffey. He'll get that front bumper right under the back end, trying to make him loose, but it's going to be a hard thing to do against Mahaffey. He knows the track, and I think he likes to drive that car just a bit loose. Loose is fast. Here comes the 54 as they go across the start-finish line. Pendleton in the 22 right on his tail. As they come around to click off another lap, they're going to get across the start-finish line here. It's still going to be the 54 of Oakley commanding a good lead out there and just passing off those laps, clicking them off 1 by 1, using just about the same line. He had an issue when it came down to the qualifying tonight. We use a transponder system. There's a little transponder that goes on the axle of every car, and there is an electronic loop. So every time the car passes over it, counts the laps, gives us lap times, things of that nature. And as technology does sometimes, it failed on his car, and we had to have him come back out and re-qualify, and that sometimes can be a little bit of a trick, because you're focused when you get out there to qualify, and then you find out that it didn't count and you have to do it over again. That could be a bit frustrating, but nonetheless shook off the annoyance that comes with trying to qualify, and was actually able to get the fast time qualifying tonight. The 54 was, and he did that on warmed up tires, which he really did not want to do, but it does not matter. He's out there in the catbird seat as he makes easy work of some more lap traffic as they come around. See the flagman giving the layover flag to the 33 as he's much slower than the leaders. And he is going to just keep that rhythm as he comes around to the start-finish stripe one more time. Chad Pendleton, the 22, keeping pace with the 54 of Brandon Oakley. The real trick will be to see as the laps wind down if the 22 of Pendleton has anything in store for the 54. Could be holding back and trying to wait towards the end of the race to make his move. Again, Pendleton's won some big races here. As he looks to the inside, got to run there for a moment. Come through 3 and 4. He's going to make his way up there and try to challenge the 54 of Oakley. So he might have enough in that 22 to challenge Oakley. Pendleton and Oakley as they go through 1 and 2 into the back straightaway. Both of them like that low line, so somebody's going to have to give up the low line or somebody's going to have to challenge hard on that outside line if they want to get past Oakley. That can be a recipe for disaster sometimes if they both have the same style of driving, which they both will drive extremely hard. Again, flagman giving a layover flag to some of that slower lap traffic as the 54 of Brandon Oakley trying to stay out in front of the 22 of Chad Pendleton. Again, if you look, we got a full crowd tonight for Gym City Auto Racing. First event of the season. Be running every other Friday night here at Kil Kare Raceway. It's great to see the crowd coming out and supporting local racing. And from what I'm hearing from everybody, the concessions are absolutely delicious tonight. As the 54 come through the fourth turn across the stripe, leading yet another lap. Coming out through 3 and 4, looking to click off some laps. Actually going to go past that third turn or fourth turn tower. Past the start finish line into the 1 and 2 into the back straightaway again. Pendleton looking to put a little pressure on the 54 of Oakley. He pulls up tight and then has to drop back through 3 and 4. Coming around to the start finish. Gets a good run on that inside line. Now they have to deal with a little bit of lap traffic. The 22 of Pendleton going to look low once again. Gets a good run but can't quite make the pass. We're going to look at that inside line, just kind of peeking around the inside on the left as they come through 3 and 4 to the start finish line once again. Again, going to have to deal with lap traffic. We'll have to see if that has a lot to play in with what happens. Again, you got a spinner rule, and at this point in the race, they've gotten into each other. We'll have to see if they can get back up toward the front. Oakley makes quick work on the outside, followed closely by the 22 of Chad Pendleton. It looked like the 18 got a little loose coming out of 3 and 4. But he'll keep it straight as they go past the flag stand. Your front four going to be Oakley, Pendleton, the 18 of Donnie Mahaffey, and it looks like the 1 of Fleming. Oakley still out in front as the laps wind down. As we come through just about 3/4 of the way through this race, it's been a relatively clean race. Going to work the way through 1 and 2. Again, Pendleton's still looking at that inside line. He's very careful to look at the inside line, trying to get the fastest way around the track. And that's where he's usually most comfortable. But he may have to look to the outside line if he wants to get around the 54 of Oakley. As the race builds up, you get rubber beaded up on the track and things of that nature, so you're going to have to see how that works out for him. Pendleton on the inside again, looks to that inside coming through 1 and 2 down that back straightaway into 3 and 4. Right there on the tail of 54. Again, tries to drop the inside, doesn't have quite enough to get around him. Following the same line there, almost like they're magnetically connected. Again, both fellows know this track very, very well, as they will work their way around Caleb Rasher's 38, still the 54 of Brandon Oakley, and the 22 of Chad Pendleton. Now, coming up every other Friday, we will have action from the Gym City Auto Racing right out here at Kil Kare Raceway. Almost a little bit of contact there by the 22, trying to get on the inside of Oakley as they come through 3 and 4. Gets a good run on the inside line, and that's what we were worried about right there. It's going to be contact. The caution will come out. The 22 gets into the 54. It'll be the spinny spinner rule. They'll talk to both drivers, try to find out exactly what happened. And, of course, if nobody fesses up to it, they will go to the back of the lead lap. Right now, there are only 4 cars on the lead lap. And as we kind of jump ahead there, nobody wanted to kind of fess up to that. One saying that the 54 came down, and, of course, the 54 saying that the 22 might have come up, not really sure. So they will be back to 3rd and 4th position because, again, they go back to the last complete lead lap. That's going to put the 26 and the 21 out there, but we'll see how long that lasts as we get back to green flag racing. The 54 of Oakley going to try to get back out there in front as he comes on the inside. It was a double foul restart, so he's already worked his way back up into the 2nd position. So that spin out didn't really hurt him so bad. As again, there were only 4 cars on the lead lap. Got Charleston out there in front of the 21, the 54 of Brandon Oakley. As they work in through 3 and 4. They'll look down to the inside. Again, the inside line faster for those 2 cars. Peeks up on the outside line, works his way down into the inside. Here's where he's going to try to make that move, and he does. In through the corners, he is going to make an easy work of the 21. Gets back out in front as we wind down the last few laps of this race. Oakley looking to be a 5-time winner if he gets this one. He'll come around to the stripe. Got about 2 car lengths lead again. Pendleton faded back to about 4th position. As they come around through 1 and 2, again finding that rhythm and getting back to that line that he's comfortable with. The 54 of Oakley going to pull away from the field once again. Oakley making his way around some lap traffic. That's really the only thing that might cause a problem is lap traffic. They will get the layover sign as they go past the start-finish line, letting the slower traffic go to the inside and the leaders go to the outside. Hopefully they'll come around to lead yet another lap as they come through 1 and 2. Again, he's going to work his way up to a bit of lap traffic as they come through 1 and 2. Still out in front, looking to take home his 5th win. '54 of Brandon Oakley. Running a relatively clean race. Had that car dialed in all day. Is the fast time qualifier. Worked his way up to the front. Trying to take the win. way through 3 and 4, looking for the start-finish line. The late model Robbie Dean Memorial 94, trying to get his 5th win. And that's the white flag. One more lap to go. Barring any kind of failure mechanically, it looks like the number 54 of Brandon Oakley will come through 3 and 4, across the stripe, and he'll take the checkered flag, and he'll win his 5th Robbie Dean Memorial race and gets the first win of the season in the Gem City Auto Racing League. And a little bit of mutual respect between the 54 and the 22 of Pendleton as they come around. And, of course, we will have the interviews down front for the winner, the number 54 of Brandon Oakley, taking the first season win here in the Gem City Auto Racing League at Kil Kare Raceway.
Give it time to get out of the window netting and out of the helmet.